Hey guys, this is Jane. You might know me as Made by Jane for You on Instagram. And today I am going to be doing a Procreate tutorial on how to create gradient lettering. To do this lettering, you're going to need an iPad Pro and an Apple Pencil. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that you're going to do is go to your gallery, and this is where you'll see all the work that you've created on Procreate. And you're going to go ahead and click the little plus, and I'm just going to select screen size for my canvas size. And what we're going to do first is create the background of our lettering. So if you click on the little circle on the top right hand corner, those are your palettes, and I've already created some palettes here. So I'm going to be using this palette right here. These are kind of succulent colors. So I'm going to go ahead and start by selecting that light green color, and you can see that the circle at the top changed color, so that means that that color is now selected. And I'm going to go ahead and click on the brushes and go to the airbrushing brushes and click on the soft brush. So I'm going to go ahead and start drawing my lines. Now if I feel like the line is not the correct size, I can go to the left hand side, and clicking that moving that little tab up and down will change the size of the brush. You can also change the opacity of the brush. So I'm just going to go ahead and select the next color. It's a little darker green. Whoa, I think that brush is too big. So if you make a mistake, you can click on your screen with 2 fingers, and that will take you back to the previous step. So I'm selecting this light purple color, this darker purple color, and then this bluish teal color. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. So for the next step, I want to blend my background layer a little bit more together. So I am going to click on this adjustments button right here, and then click on Gaussian blur. And then if I just take my Apple Pencil and slide it across the screen, that will change the amount of blur. So I'm going to blur it about 35%. And then what I'm going to do next is click on the little arrow. That's going to select the area that I just colored in. And I'm just going to use my fingers to make that area bigger so that it fills my screen. Okay, so we're done with the background layer. So let's go ahead and rename that background colors. Okay, cool. So what I want to do next is create the layer that I'm going to letter on. So the reason why you want to create another layer is because if you just letter on this layer, if you make a mistake, it might be hard to get this nice colored layer back. So we're going to go ahead and create another layer, and then let's rename that lettering. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on my palettes again, select white, and I'm going to drag that palette, that color, and then that's going to fill in the entire layer white. So now the lettering layer is completely filled in. So I could just select a brush and letter on this layer, but if I do that, that's not really gonna. Okay, so if I do that, that's not really going to reveal the background. So what you want to do is instead of selecting the brush, you want to select the eraser. And if you click on the eraser, you can actually change the shape of your eraser to any of these brushes. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the calligraphy brush. Now I prefer to use the brush pen, and I've actually gone ahead and edited the brush pen, so I'll show you what I did. So if you look at the original brush pen, if you go to source, the shape source is an oval. So if I were to letter with this brush pen, you can see that the edges of the letters are more oval shaped, but I prefer having more of a round shape. So what I did was I edited the brush so that the source shape was a circle. So you can do that by clicking on Swap from Pro Library, And you can actually change the brush shape to any of these shapes. So I chose the hard circle, and then, oops. So you can see that basically the edges of the letters are a little bit more clean. Instead of being tapered off at the end, it's a little bit rounder at the end, and I prefer that. Oops. So you can see the difference. So on the top, it's the oval shape. On the bottom, it's the more round shape. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and tap with 2 fingers to get rid of all that lettering that I just did. And let's go ahead and write a quote. So the quote that I chose for today is "Bloom where you are planted," because those colors reminded me of some succulent plants. So let's go ahead and start lettering. And as I letter, I'm thinking of more pressure on the downstrokes and less pressure on the upstrokes. And as you can see, because I chose the eraser tool, it's erasing the white and revealing the background layer. Okay, so that's it. So this was a very short, quick tutorial on how to create gradient lettering on the Procreate app.